Good weekend, all. Ira Epstein, and yes, I'm back. It is Thursday, the 21st of July, 2022, and the time getting on at 6:50 p.m. Central Time. You know, when I left, I started writing my newsletters. By the way, while I was gone, if you're a paid subscriber, I didn't miss a beat. You were getting your updates, and many of you watching these saw that I was doing this work from afar. How's that? And I have been thinking this was going to be, during the 10 days that I was gone, what I call noise in the markets. Why? Because we were leading up to the European Central Bank, the Bank of Japan, and of course this coming week, our Federal Reserve and what the monetary policies will be. And they're going to be strictness. But markets don't go in one direction. Markets break, they rally, they give up part of it, and then they resume trends. That's basically what I think has been going on. While gone, you're still holding $96 in the SEP crude. You're still at about 104 in the Brent. Bonds and notes have been stable. I think that's a good word, but you're pushing 5.4, 5.5 on mortgages. It's not going to help the mortgage business. When you look at the metals, I was looking for the gold to maybe get into the 1650s. It may have bottomed, may have done it closer to the 1680 level. Silver to me today was a strange day. Woke up and I'm looking at the market. I'm going, why is it breaking? Why is it down 50 cents? And it was. It made it all up in spades, but it didn't make sense as to why it was down. So let's go to the charts and let it do the talking. First off, for gold, you're getting a bounce. You're up 0.82% going in the Friday trade. Not very impressive. When you look at the daily chart, you can see that the market keeps making lower lows and gives you bouncing areas. Let's assume the bounce continues, just for the sake of discussion. 1740s could be the target area. From here, about another $20, $23 an ounce. The market had been hitting the Bollinger Band. It walked sideways during that pattern. Now, gold will be impacted with whatever the Fed's going to do. Fed's either going 75 or 100 basis points, but that's the initial reaction. Then you're going to have next week after that the press conference. That's going to be the real reaction because a lot of hard questions are going to be asked and answered by Fed Chair Powell. When you look at the momentum, you're losing the embedded reading. Hold on here. You lose an embedded reading, and to me, that is extremely important. You can see you had the embedded readings where the red and the blue were going sideways for day upon day upon day. And all of a sudden, tonight, the word is tonight because we're looking at July 22nd, you're flirting with losing that reading. If it's lost, I feel a lockup is you're going to go to that 18-day average of closes, wipe out, if you will, correct from this big break. And this break has been substantial. It's from the 1870 area all the way down here into 1678, and you get a correction. It's overdue. We have been, as you can see, lower highs, lower lows all the way through, all right? So nothing wrong with every now and then markets take a respite, and that's exactly what I think you're doing. When we look at the gold-silver ratio, pretty flat, not doing anything right there. And silver had its big break here. That was the cover short area. The market has been sideways, not going anywhere one way or the other. When I look at the copper market, just drifting sideways, but it lost its embedded reading back right here where I'm showing you. When you lose that reading, prices often, momentum leads price often, means that price is going to make a return to the 18-day average before you break through the lowest low you just made. I consider that right here where I'm pointing to you, the lowest low. So I'm looking for a bounce in the market. I don't know if it doesn't come before the Fed meeting, I don't know if it'll come at all, but it certainly has the prospect of doing that. When you lost the embedded reading back here, I'm going to point to it. That set up this challenge of the 18-day average. So market upon market in the metals, I can make an argument. We get to a neutral point. You're even oversold in the palladium market and not going down at this point. I can get an argument here, one after the other, you're going back to the 18-day average to start fresh. Why not? And if you look at the dollar index, once you lost the embedded reading, and let's see if I can get that to come in for you, and I can, right through here, watch. Here's the embedded reading. Once you lose that, the odds favor, unless you get it back right away, price and the 18-day average are going to make a run at each other. You tell me what's going on here and what happened. This is yesterday, this is today. Come on. So how does this all come about and where do you go with it? Well, it's actually pretty simple. I created a course called the Enhanced Bollinger Band course. And it is something that I picked up in my many years of studying Bollinger Bands. I have not been around Bollinger Bands a year or two, decades. I used to have John Bollinger on my TV show on the old Financial News Network, which is today's CNBC, by the way. And I had a big half-hour show at noon. I think it was Wednesdays. And I had everybody. I mean, from the Robert Prechters, Joe Granvilles. You look up a name of the old guys, the Marty Zweigs. I had them all at some point on my show. And I learned from John Bollinger Bands, because to get on the show, you had to talk to me. And if you're going to talk to me, I'm going to ask you a question because I'm inquisitive that way. And I started learning. Well, then I realized that John just didn't do what you think you have in your Bollinger Band, whatever charting software you have. There were other things he was doing with it too. I did the same. But I really left the basic Bollinger Band alone and I started working with momentum because I've always believed that momentum leads price. And therefore, does it do it every time, by the way? No. Does it most of the time? Yes. You'll lose downside momentum, and that can give you a little bit of an edge in the market because if you're going to get the pop like I teach in the Enhanced Bollinger Band course, you can come out of shorts ahead of time. I'm never a trader that wants to fight the trend, but I want to be out when the trend ends. So if you'd like to learn this, I created this little video here that teaches you how to do it. The course is inexpensive. It's 13 chapters. You are going to get a master's degree in momentum, slow stochastics, Bollinger Bands together. Watch this. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my Enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time. And on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein, on the road to your education.